Good afternoon, everybody. This is PreMarket Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, and Mitch Hotch is lurking somewhere here in the background. I'm going to walk you through the final 20 minutes of today's session. Uh, let's see. Relatively quiet day. I mean, we're up, of course. What else is new? We're up almost across the board. Most sectors are up. Energy is down. Oil is down, but no real surprises there. Joel, I guess the story of the day is strength in big tech. I guess strength in FANG.
Yeah, let's go over that. We are leaking here into the close. We did make a new all-time high from 37.24, got up to 37.32 and a quarter, and now we're just having a little sell-off going into the close, maybe anticipating some sell imbalances, nothing major. In order to post a new all-time closing high for ever, we have to close above 1275. So we still got a lot of room to do that on the first day of the Santa Claus rally here. Crude. We were talking about crude, trying to make a move towards 50. No can do. Crude turned around. You could say COVID-19 fears. It's down 56 cents at 47.67. Gold and silver going opposite ways. Gold down 570, 1877 and a half. Silver up 53 cents at 26.44. Bitcoin sniffed 28,000, now trying to close into 27,000 handle, up $3,340 or 14.1% at 27,005. Spencer, what would you like to cover?
Let's start with FANG here because you look at what may be defining the market for the day. These FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google, not the biggest movers percentage wise, but the biggest movers market cap wise. They're all in bright green for the day, up 2 to 3% across the board. Microsoft's up a little over 1%, but we haven't really seen the FANG trade heat up. It's been more of a value rotation for the past couple of months. So it's interesting that we're getting some FANG outperformance.
Apple had a little pause after the Apple Car debut, and excuse me, sorry about that.
And we spoke about this last week. I think it was like FANG has done nothing for the past couple of months. Is this
right?
on FANG? Well,
yep, you got the pause, and now the 2-day pause after the Apple Car, and you're going to post. We talked about that high on that day. I believe it was 134.30. That was right near the all-time closing high, 148, 134.18. Had no problem getting through that early in the session. Still got a target for you in this one, folks. That all-time high made just after the split in Apple. That comes in at 137.98. We got within 60 cents of it. Perhaps we could do it overnight. So just maybe people got a lot of Apple gift cards for the holidays, but continuation after that big up move. I guess that would have been on Tuesday. Let's look at Microsoft, the second biggest component in the S&P 500, part of that big tech story that Spencer was talking about. That's just creeping up on its all-time high too. Matching this high here from last week at 25.63. You're trading just at that area. So a little bit of resistance, got to 26.03. The big number, 228.12. That was the all-time high. Amazon, I guess the retailers had some good results. So look at that. Whew, when did we draw that puppy in? Broke out of that downward trend line, and I swear to God, I had that. Maybe we did that on Friday. There it was, off to the races. Maybe pausing here a little bit at 3,300. What else? Google having a good day. Looking at the Goog without the L. And that is just kind of inching its way back after that soft, nothing fancy there. Facebook shrugging off all the antitrust legislation. I'd say maybe use 280 as your next target on the upside. S&P's little down to 37.25, but now turning back up towards the high for the session.
And then on the other side, you've got basically an all-out reopening trade today because the stay-at-home stocks such as Zoom and Peloton and Roku and Teladoc, the poster children for stay-at-home, are not having good days today.
Yeah, I noticed that Peloton, the gap and go after that deal, and just got a little tired. Just got a little overdone to 160 level. This is now working into its gap area. Full disclosure, still long Peloton. Coming down, you got a gap down to 144.88. So be prepared for a little bit more downside there in shares of Peloton. Zoom, I don't know when I put tired on this chart. Sometime maybe last week, but
That was
yeah,
like Thursday or Wednesday.
yeah, just took out the low of the move, and there you go. That 350 area, that was a place on the monthlies. The only problem is below 350 bases the monthly chart. You don't have much down to 300. So there's a sub. Oh, Teladoc, that is probably well under. No, still hanging out near 200. Bad day. Really want to see this thing over 210. This chart doesn't look as bad as the Zoom one does. And then for the uh, travel stocks, Carnival Cruise Lines having a good day.
It,
Up, yeah,
it,
big
it's a
number
bad day.
22. Big number 22.
Can we call it today? Can we call it today Vaccine Monday? Because we got that AstraZeneca news. It was over the weekend. It was last night. So
Yeah, or more uh relief stimulus package, I think, had a
that's
little
true.
bit more to do.
That's true.
Folks, keep an eye on 22. If you're a CCL trader here, Carnival Cruise Lines got right up to 22 today, 22.05. Couple other pesky highs, not last week, but the week before. So got to get rid of that 22 seller in CCL. RCL, great support at 70. That's kind of having a quiet day. Nothing real good. Bunch of tops here. What, the four tops? Right under $75. So that's an area that you need to clear. Four highs right there between 74.48 and 74.71. So that's what you need to clear in shares of RCL. Let's see how the airlines are doing. American Airlines got beat up after getting near 19, but just kind of creeping its way back. I know Barron's was all over these stocks over the weekend. The airline stocks and and some of the other travel stocks. So that, along with the stimulus package, gets a nice bounce in these things on Monday, first day of the Santa Claus rally.
What about FUBO? I was surprised to hear Dennis still on the bull train here. I'm with you on this one, Joel. FUBO didn't really stop. I mean, yeah, it did stop going down, but not at the open.
No, he's just trying to pick a turn in it, and maybe he was a little bit early. He got down to 36.50 after, and now you're $3 above that. So you're still down 5 on the session, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing trading perhaps a little bit higher tomorrow. 35.93. That was your low on the 18th, kind of where the last part of the rally. Actually, that it bottomed at 35.93 on the 18th. 2 days later is when it hit 62.29. So just kind of backing and filling there, a little bit over the 50% retracement, but back above it right now for FUBO. So a retreat, trying to get back up there. It's going to take a little bit of work, though, to get back up to that, even to that 52.50. So we'll see if FUBO can regain that upward momentum.
All right, I'm going to the chat. There was a couple of tickers that are written down this morning that we didn't get to. I want to cover a few of those now, and then we'll get to some tickers that are being dropped in just now. What about Beyond Meat? I know we discussed this one a couple of days ago. Maybe the same person dropped in again this morning, but it shows are trading lower. I haven't seen any news today. Could just be a rotational thing.
Stock has had its run. Ooh, just hung out at 142 long, folks, without being able to go up. All those tight ranges. I wish someone would have pulled that one up for me this morning because.
Well, you know what? Remember we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but it was the opposite, right? It was stock's been coiling up and doing really not much of anything. is this the time for breakout? Well, it has,
Yeah.
but it has to do the key thing. It has to do something. It has to actually break out for it to break out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talked about this. And I remember going back and looking at some of the other consolidation periods. And it just got to a point where, man, you had those tight ranges last week and you just, all those lows in the same area and you took them out. So people are leaning on that, looking for that 150. And I'll ballpark it, maybe call it like 140. When that was more, no, not 140. All those, where were all those lows at? Wow, the low from Friday was way up at 135. So it was a 135, 136 area, higher price stock. He gave that out, and there she blows. So just a good point of being patient through these consolidation periods, not trying to guess which way it's going, but let the market tell you which way it's going. So Beyond Meat, I mean, those things are not that good and they're kind of expensive. But full disclosure, I have no position or not thinking of taking a position in
Okay.
that issue.
What about Anaplan? PLAN. This got added to the conviction buy list from Needham this morning, and they gave it a $95 price target.
Sold to you, says Wall Street. Made a new all-time high. How close was that off the open? Uh, pretty rallied a buck 37 off the open. I don't know what it's going to do today or tomorrow or the rest of the week, but I'll tell you one thing: it better hold better hold this low for the day, and it doesn't look like it's going to. 231, you're low on Wednesday. 248, you're low on Tuesday. 2.25, the low today, and you're just hanging up. You're just hanging there. So boom, I think you take out that 72.25. You might get a look at 70 in this one. So I am fading this on the conviction. Who was it? What firm was it?
Needham.
Needham. Sold to you at FUBO. Andrew Garver's telling us back over 40 momentarily. So it did catch a bid. You just kind of maybe had to take a couple stabs at it. Down only 445 now.
Someone's asking about SPWH, Sportsman's Warehouse. They're getting acquired. So
Who is?
Sportsman's Warehouse, SPWH. That was from last week. So I don't know if there's anything to say.
Yeah, what can you say about this? I mean, it doesn't coming in at $18, right?
Yeah.
I think the takeout price. I mean, it doesn't look like someone thinks there's a suitor do any better on this one. So, unless you want to own the stock that's taking them over, ring the register, put your money to work somewhere else.
Okay, let's go to the chat and see what people are talking about, thinking about. BTBT, this was mentioned this morning. This is a crypto Bitcoin stock, whatever you want to call it. Any stock that moves with Bitcoin, I call it a Bitcoin stock. I don't actually know.
What a range.
I don't actually know what the company does, but I know it pops. It can trade with Bitcoin, and it's doing so today. So it's off at a high. Joel, pull up your chart and
what a round tripper in this one, folks. For a $6 stock, man, this thing is like a little jet skis here. Opened up not that much higher. 579 was your close. You opened at 668. If you carded it up, you're only looked and didn't even blink. You're at the low, 641. Wow, that was just the top of yesterday's range. They really gave you a chance to trade this. And then they gassed it to 1245. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if someone got called in, or I don't know what the short interest is on it, but now peeling back to 10. This is the first day that you just see the big heavy volume coming into it. 858,000 shares. I got my chart up now, Spencer. 858,000 shares traded on Thursday. 60 million today, folks. So, oh boy, those kind of moves, the volume gets going. You got to watch out.
So what was it? 853,000?
858 on Thursday and 60 million today.
Okay. So that means that if you on Thursday, each share changed hands about 20 times. That's
wow.
My math is right. Wait, that may not be right. 850. I don't know. Anyway, the point is 43 million shares outstanding, 800 million share volume, low float, high flyer. Watch out. Keep your stops tight.
Yeah, Bitcoin came in a little bit, but just kind of going on prior, past history. When they have those big volume days, I mean, there were some big volume days in it last week. It didn't move. So this was the big pump. So I mean, you could get your Robinhood folks on this tomorrow and then the momentum. But trading off that high, 1245 it got to. I believe that was a new all-time high for BT. BT, what a good symbol if you're, you want to be associated with Bitcoin, BT.
Yeah. H Rope in the YouTube chat, what is CCP? You know me. That's a pun from a rap lyric from actually the year that song came out the year I was born. That song came out like 2 months after I was born. But it was a rap song from the early 90s, and the lyric is OPP. Yeah, you know me. So I made fun of it with CCP, which of course refers to the Chinese Communist Party. Okay. What else from the chat? What about DraftKings, Joel?
DKNG. Oh boy, bad day for DraftKings, down 310. Don't know if you had any news on it. It just looks like you put in the three tops there, right just under 55, right at the 54.5 area. Actually, you had four tops in that area. And just when stocks get to resistance like that, people trying to sell on strength, they end up having to sell on weakness here. So that's a bad day for it. Friday, it was off a little bit too. So I don't know. Big run up to 55 from 35. Maybe just needs a little breather. Maybe come back into 45, had a half 46, and maybe take another run at that 55 level. How's Penn trading today? Penn, first bad day in a while after two red candles, just a little profit taking probably as well. I see a matching low here. Today's low goes back to a low from last week. But I would say, if you wanted to give yourself a little bit more room, 86.94, that was your low on the 17th. You kind of drop off after that. The next daily low doesn't come into 81.65. But stocks just can't go straight up. Every once in a while, they got to take a breather.
Speaking of taking a breather, McDonald's here is doing exactly that. It's taking a breather.
Mickey D's. Let's see here. It's up 275 though.
Well, I mean, I'm going back a couple of months.
Okay. All right. Yeah. 214. I don't know. I mean, I still kind of like this one. I did draw that trading range that had been in, and I don't know what happened. It wasn't a week ago Monday, but you had that quick drop to 208. And now you're back in it. So maybe back into that little channel I had there. I don't know. What happened on this stock on the 21st, Spencer? Do you know? Was it a downgrade or something? It really got shellacked.
Of December?
Yeah.
Nothing comes to mind. If I go into the Benzinga Pro and look, I don't yeah,
Nothing?
nothing really comes to mind.
On the 21st. I don't even think that was a bad day in the market. Let's take a look at the Bobster.
Hey, how's that? I'm looking at that today. How's that doing?
It's not having a bad day. Inside day. You couldn't get to, you kind of had to, it came so much off that low on Friday that you kind of figured you would find buyers kind of in the same area. And that's exactly what you did. You didn't get to that pre-market low, and then it just started to rally up, and people were just, just picking this up on weakness instead of strength. Couldn't get back. 225 looks like it's high. Inside day. See what happens tomorrow. See if you can get above that 230, that high on Friday. Of course, this one will move. With any news regarding the government, I don't think they're going to get it resolved that quickly. Yeah, I am Warren says Jack Ma is going to bow down. I don't know. Sure, I'm sure he doesn't like seeing his stock get shellacked, but not a bad day yesterday considering the damage that was done on Friday. Little bit of a rebound. We are going to get that new all-time closing high in the S&P futures, folks. I don't know how many times I've said that, but here we are.
Yeah.
Unless we fall apart here between now and well, we're actually closed for the cash close, so looks like we're going off the board right at 37.26. Improving on that all-time high by about 14 points. Who is on the show tomorrow, Spencer?
We actually have two guests on the show tomorrow. Our third to last show of the year, Nick Shaheen and then JC Peretz from All Star Charts will join us.
Good old JC. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pat him on the back. Amazon. That was his call. Stock of the year. I remember that one. So that's why I wanted to have JC on. We'll see what he has in store for us for 21-21.
2021.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not that old.
Not that old.
2021.
All right, here is our disclaimer, so you can see that all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Hit that like button below the video. It takes not even 3 seconds. It takes like 2 seconds or 1 second, and it helps us out a lot. So we appreciate all the likes, all the comments. I saw someone mention Moderna in the chat. We didn't get to discussing those stocks today, but I want to discuss Moderna with AstraZeneca and Pfizer tomorrow because they're all kind of trading together and it's not looking great. So I'll make sure we get to those on tomorrow's show. That's a wrap, though, for today. Everyone have a good rest of your day. If you're still trading, good luck, and we'll be back with you tomorrow morning.